What's up, guys? So, I've been testing out New World, as you can see from the spiffy background. And one thing I've been doing, I've been going in completely blind. I bought the game, I pre-ordered it around the time of the first beta, and then, as it turned out, I was going on vacation and I never had time to install it, so I couldn't test it out at all. So I watched a total of about 20-30 minutes of streaming before I started playing the game. I've been playing for like 3 hours-ish. I did most of it on stream. So we'll be editing down, or I have edited down, I should say, the highlights or some things I came across this, which we'll look at here, as well as some of my thoughts about how the game is looking right now and how interested I am. There's some things that are pretty cooler. There's a lot of crafting emphasis. The open world aspect, I'm not too sure about that, but crafting is definitely huge in this game, and I think that's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting trying to figure it all out from scratch without using any external sources, which is what I will be doing. So we'll be doing a video series of edited content, essentially, just a combination of my actual gameplay and thoughts I have live, and then some post-gameplay analysis or sharing some of my thoughts after thinking about it for a little while as well. So not sure how often I'll be releasing these videos. It'll depend a little bit on when I play. I'll definitely try to record most of my playing sessions, essentially, so I can. So I'll be editing it down to something enjoyable for you guys, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't played a game without researching it and reading up guides from day one in pretty much forever. So yeah, there's already tons of guides out there. So if you just want to be efficient, then don't watch this. If you wanna try to get a glimpse into how you would go about approaching a completely new game and figuring out what's profitable, what's good, all of that jazz, particularly what's profitable, because that's going to be relevant in every game. There's no one who makes the guides right away, or any guide on doing what's profitable. That requires player behavior to have settled a little bit, or it requires you to know enough about the game to predict parts of player behavior. So we'll take a look at that. Hopefully you can learn some. Otherwise, you might just enjoy watching me flail around blindly in New Worlds. Let's dive in. But I don't even know if there's tab targeting, or if you're like, it looked maybe to be more like you actually aiming at the mobs and players. But we'll see. Like, I don't know anything. Positioning Q1. Guys, this is it. First steps into New World. I know there's 3 factions as well. That's one of the other things I know. And that weapons determine your skills, and that's it. And there's supposed to be loads of chopping down trees. Here, guys, it's happening. It's happening. Finally, we got in. That was a hell of a Q boss. Wow. Our first steps. Okay. Move. WASD. Yeah, no turning. There's strafing. Good stuff. It's our captain. Look at this guy. Draw your weapon. Just like in WoW. Block. You block with the right mouse. Dodge with shift. It feels like Dark Souls-esque. Ooh. I love these kinds of like where you get up on a hilltop and like the landscape opens up. I love this stuff. Like it's giving me some like Dark Souls vibes. They have some of these vistas that are just amazing. Well, the game certainly looks pretty. Oh, you can loot you can gather. They give you like some sort of gathering XP. We need a flint skinning knife. Craft that stuff. Set active tool. Okay, so actually, so we need more tools. We can craft more tools as well. Let's get the logging axe. Now we need more wood.
Got your skinning knife, eh?
Complete the quest.
All right. Now that you've got your little knife, you pick yourself a fat one if you can. There's actually
Right, so now I have to look for boars. Where are those gonna be? Yeah, in the area. Journal. Cool. And there's wood here. Bushes. Is this gonna be enough? I think that's gonna be enough to craft all of the crafting things that we definitely want to do. Wait, what's this do? That's just a number, right? That's just a number. Okay, and then we need a harvesting. What's that's one need? It needs the fibers. Right. This is like some Minecraft-like stuff. Wait. Do I have to hold it down? No, you don't. Okay, good. Skin a boar. Okay, that's gonna give me pork and rawhide. Good. Because I can't log these. Can I log these then? Young tree. Yeah, we can log these. That's gonna give me some logging skill, presumably. Okay, so that's not even one skill point. This doesn't even give logging skills, so it's pointless to do the small ones. Trade skills. Oh, there's a bunch of trade skills and you can have them all. Cool. Yeah, this is cool. Level 3 login. Mature trees, wordwood, ironwood. Standing increased, newcomer. What does that mean? Territory standing points. Huh. Cool. Let's go with gathering speed. I feel like that's gonna be one of the more useful ones. Logging is so easy to level compared to everything else, because there's like trees everywhere. So presumably like you shouldn't bother. If you wanna, assuming we can trade with other players, like logging is pointless to level early on. You wanna level some of the other ones, so you can get access to crafting that other people can't. It's like skinning might be good, harvesting might be good, mining. Things that you have to go out of your... Yeah, they regrow all the time. Monarch's Bluff Hamlet. Respawn point activated. Trading tax. Property tax. Crafting fee. Like a bunch of weird stuff here. So this is a forge. Tier 2. So where I can start learning how to do weaponsmith. Oh, there's so much stuff.
The forges of Monarch's Bluffs produce the finest
cool.
weapons and armor in all time.
Storage shed. We place stuff here. Okay. Yeah, we can. Can you craft from your storage shed? That's the big question. I mean, it doesn't matter much. We're gonna slam most of this stuff in here. Gotta find a vendor then. Oh, there's a lore piece. Smelter. We can make charcoal here. Okay, continue to craft. Do I have any ore? I don't have any ore. We can make some charcoal. Let's make like 100 charcoal. We actually have to pay taxes for doing that. Interesting. It's a lot of charcoal. I'm not sure what you use the charcoal for. That's a lot of smelting levels. Trading post. Trading post. Pog. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Trading post. Did this? Trading post. Okay, so well, that's cool. Actually cool. Like, presumably you can make money moving stuff around. Okay, so you have sell orders and buy orders. Sell. Looks like an order book. Okay, so we can see current sell orders. What's the listing? The listing fee? Wow, the listing fee for 1 is really high. I'm selling it for 5. Like, even if it's sold, I'd be very lucky. You can have a really long orders though. Interesting. There's definitely potential here. That's gonna be fun. Crafting for sure is what you'll be doing the most of though, I think, to profit here. It does mean that there's not going to be... Well, there's going to be flipping, but mostly about moving materials around, presumably. The ruling company that gets to decide a bunch of stuff. So presumably, like, if you control a town, you get to set the taxes and make money from people crafting there. Can you only sell?
Go and see them for yourself.
Can you only sell items at the trading post? Does that mean you want to salvage stuff that you're not using? I think that does mean you want to salvage stuff that you're not using. I'm gonna do all of these. I feel like this game is gonna have some pretty interesting, like, social dynamics of, like, companies fighting against each other and, like, the best people, like, trying to expropriate extortionate amounts of taxes in, like, the best cities or whatever. Depends on how the game works on that level. Definitely, it's like, if you're someone who can go all out, it's probably gonna be a lot of fun. Do I have any Azoth? Boar blood. Let's go for it. Oh yeah. The depth of this crafting system is pretty incredible, with like the optional reagents and so many things to do. Amount of flexibility in crafting in this game, with like the choosing the. So for like the weapon I crafted, I added boar's blood, so we had a chance to get strength and focus. And it seems like you can't like repair an item forever. It'll eventually get broken, because when you repair it, okay, we could repair that up to max durability, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe you can repair things forever. Could be the case. Could be the case. Already getting advertisements for people selling gold for real life money in chat. So RMT is already here. Well, interesting once I get into like some more actual crafting. I haven't really done. We've done some refining, a little bit of that so far. I feel like we're still missing some. Maybe you just have to figure it out from like looking at recipe lists and stuff. There's a lot of those. So I'm just gonna like, absolutely mangle this guy.
I see the light of wisdom in you. Your righteous path is with the Covenant. I can see this as clear as day.
We picked the Covenant. We picked the Covenant. We're gonna do the initiation quest, and then that's gonna be it for me tonight. I've kind of enjoyed this so far. Definitely an incredible amount of things to figure out when it comes to the crafting system. Like, there's so much stuff here. I'm gonna try selling some of this. Come on. 15. Let's do like 250. Once again, we're not gonna do 14 days. That's way overdone. We're gonna do 3 days. Because... So if you're playing right now, it's very obviously completely pointless to post... Wow, that's a listing fee and a half. Wow. If this stuff doesn't sell, then oof. How much is this? 250 times 15. So that's 250. It's 300 gold. That's a very high listing fee. I don't think we can sell it. We should sell it for this much. I think we should cut down the price. Oh, we can math out the listing fee, presumably. Does it scale linearly? Then. No, it does not. It does not scale linearly. With price. It does seem to... It has some sort of fixed balance. It does scale. Presumably this is lost when you... This is like the deposit cost. And then there's a transaction charge in addition. I'm gonna go with 10 gold. That's gonna be... It's gonna be 2,500 gold. If this stuff sells. We're gonna post it for literally just for 1 day. And see what happens. Here we have the crafting system. And it is... Wow. There's so much going on. So obviously I'm in the first city here that I've gotten to. And there's a bunch of different crafting stations related to... first you get the raw materials, then you refine them in some way in many cases, and then you can craft finished items. So this is pretty cool, this overall trade skill system. You can see that I haven't gotten like really far. I have some gathering skills, I have some refining skills. I've just been doing a little bit of everything so far. But this is very interesting. You have access to all of the professions on any character. And I haven't figured out yet like what barriers to entry there are, if any, for specific recipes or anything like that. But since everyone has access to everything, it means that, well, focusing on one thing is going to be the main way to get an advantage. So if you focus very heavily on weaponsmithing and getting that to a very, very high level, then you can be among the first one to get access to high tier crafted weapons. And well, gear is always good in MMOs, like, and that's going to be the case in New World as well. That's going to be the case in New World as well, I believe. So weaponsmithing, armoring, furnishing, I mean player housing, definitely something that people want to spend a lot of resources on in general. But overall, I think just being the first one to max out some of these is going to give you a significant advantage. I really like what they've done with gathering professions as well. The fact that you increase your gathering speed as you get better, so you get access to gather from better nodes eventually. But every time you level up, you're now faster at chopping down the low level trees, which just feels very nice. And then you have the crafting items or the gathering implements as well that will also increase your gathering speed. And interestingly enough, I got my first like rare ones. Like I have this one, this iron logging axe that I crafted that got a perk that gives me 4.3% extra logging experience. So that's really cool. The fact that your gear actually impacts your gathering is really really cool. And then you have all these crafting stations, right? And crafting is there are some things I really like about crafting. Well, they went for like, gathering is super time consuming, but crafting is not. If you click craft all, if I would craft multiple items and click craft all, that's instant. So that's cool. The other things that are pretty cool here is the fact that you can, at least for these low-level items, you have a chance of getting extra attributes and perks, and you can increase that by adding specific crafting materials if you want to. So overall, like, you can either roll the dice and hope to get something good, and maybe you get the high roll and you get the super valuable items, or you can use special resources to increase the chance of getting something good. You can even add Azoth, which is a special resource as well. Use this for fast travel as well, so this is going to be a very annoying resource. This is going to be an important resource, I believe. But this is pretty cool. So you would definitely want to go for the high roll. That's going to give you a lot of advantage, and there's a ton of items here. I have barely even looked to the bottom here. So there's definitely some really good items. Like once you get to the lower parts here and you're approaching skill level 200, you're getting crafting max level gear. That's probably going to be very, very in demand. And with the random effects, at least on the I think these ones that are like already magic might not have random effects. I haven't figured that out yet. So this legendary probably doesn't have any random effects. So it's just going to be the item. But maybe you can craft like an Orichalcum rapier, which is a level 60 rapier, and you can get like the perfect high roll once you get enough skill, and then you can add Azoth, and you can probably sell that. So that's going to be cool. There's one other thing that I find really interesting, and that's the fact that these trading posts are zone specific. And I think that's going to mean that there's going to be a lot of potential gold in moving resources around, moving items around. Of course, there's not like in EVE Online where there's a risk, like someone might destroy your ship and steal your stuff. It doesn't seem like there is, because you can just turn off PvP. But you go to whatever endgame zone a certain material is farmed in, it's probably going to be cheaper there, because that's the closest trading post. And then if there's another zone that's the typical place where people go to craft, maybe because there's a lower tax there, then you can probably sell your stuff there for cheaper. And then you have the entire system of like controlling zones, and you can set the crafting taxes and trader taxes. I have not really looked into any of that yet. I know there's like a crafting tax and a trader tax, which is set on a zone by zone basis based on who's controlling it, which company. They get to decide. Presumably they then get to take the taxes, so there's a lot of like value in being the controlling company. It'll be very interesting to see how the tax meta ends up. I have a couple of theories, but I have no idea which one's going to turn out to be correct, whether they want to go low tax to attract more people to make them come to your zone and your town to craft, or whether you want to try to extract as much value from the people who are there as possible. And definitely a lot of social elements around zone control is going to be relevant in this game, it seems to me. So that's sort of my initial thoughts. I think the profession system looks really interesting. It's relatively fast to level up so far. Like I'm level 22 melting. I think the max level is 200 as far as I can tell, even though the UI doesn't tell us that directly. So we're already pretty far off, and there doesn't seem to be much in terms of diminishing returns. Like even just doing entry-level recipes seem to continue to give experience for forever, essentially. Yeah, there's also a ton of intermediate crafting and refining and stuff like that. So I think that the overall, like, the economy is going to be much, much, much more complex than World of Warcraft that we're used to, which is very simple. There's a lot more intermingling, and there's a lot more extra factors here with the fact that you have to move, that the auction houses or trade posts are zone specific, so you have to move stuff around to sell it. And there's probably going to establish a meta where like one city or one might even be different per realm. Where one city is like, this is the place where people typically go to sell gear, because that's just going to be a lot more efficient than trying to like look through every trading post in the entire game. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I'll be seeing if I can figure out some tricks yet. I have not figured out anything yet, but it's day one. Prices on nothing has stabilized yet. One thing I noticed for me personally was that there was very little. I haven't found any fibers or linens. I don't know how to get cloth, and I needed that to craft a fishing pole. So you might be able to sell your linen in the starting zone, because it's not so easy to acquire compared to a lot of the other resources you need to craft your initial craft or harvesting equipment. So that's something I'd take a look at. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this first part of my journey into New World. We'll see you on the next video. Goodbye!